Okay, so, big thing I wanted to get in today. So, everyone remembers that netcode patch that, or not even a patch, it was actually just a fan-made mod. Everyone remembers that netcode mod that it was released a couple, like, I think it was like sometime last week, right? For those of you that don't know about the netcode mod, what it essentially was some random modder, programmer, or whatever, in 2 days apparently, fixed, or at least did a significant amount of work that has made, or he's done a significant improvement to Street Fighter V's netcode in 2 days, faster than Capcom has ever like done in like 4 years, which is what people are really upset about. That's like the big controversy surrounding it. And one of the other things was when people were talking about it a lot, because what ended up happening was when you download the mod, it fixed your netcode, right? If you were a modded player playing Street Fighter V on PC, it completely works fine for you now. But if you're a PC player who's playing someone with a mod and you don't have the mod, if you're a PS4 player, apparently it has actually ruined the experience of Street Fighter V for these people. It has absolutely destroyed the online experience for them. So basically, a lot of people were tweeting at Ono about it, and he tweets out this infamous tweet. I have already grasped the situation. This pretty much led to a bunch of funny ass memes, right? You got High Fight, or Flying High's hilarious ass thing right here. But anyways, that's not really what the important thing is. A lot of people were memeing on Ono about it and just being absolute dicks about it. Like, one person called him lazy. It was a bunch of stuff that I saw over the weekend, because I had saw a Reddit post that people were like shitting on Ono, and it's really not his fault, like, at all. It's really messed up how bad people are treating Ono over this, because it's really not his fault, like, at all. Ono has no, like, is not in charge of that. It's not his fault that Capcom has completely just done nothing about this in 4 years, and some dude has figured it out. And, like, figured it. Not only did he figure out the netcode problem, he fixed it within 2 days, apparently. Or at least has done a significant improvement within 2 days. Like, 2 days time versus 4 years of a AAA game studio. I don't know. Either way, this is the infamous tweet that got everyone pissed off about it. Right? Because people were complaining about not being able to play Street Fighter, because if you're playing modded and if you're not, or if you're playing someone who's modded and you're not, it completely ruins the experience for you. It actually makes your experience super, like, laggier than it would have if you were just playing normal Street Fighter V. Apparently. I know it actually does mess with you, but I don't know if it goes like that hard. But anyways, so there's also this Reddit post / YouTube video I wanted to watch. It basically breaks down the what Street Fighter V's netcode does and how it rolls back, and then it also goes into how the mod actually affects this. So I kind of want to watch this and break this down a little bit, because this is actually a quick video, but it's super important in just figuring out why this mod, like, is causing so much chaos right now. So we'll do that. Full screen this bitch. Boom.
Hello everyone. With Altamar's release of his netcode fix mod, I wanted to make a video visually explaining what is happening to the netcode with this mod applied. But first I need to explain how the netcode works. Currently the SF5 netcode frame locks both players' games at the start of a round. It does this by forcing both games to run at the same FPS, and then frame locks them at the start of the round. In this video here, you'll see that when I artificially drop the frame rate down below 60 FPS, both games slow down together until the round starts. This is the netcode trying to sync up both games so they both start on frame 1 together.
Basically what that is, for anyone not aware, this is actually the clock syncing issue that people have been talking about in this game, where if the games don't start on the exact same frame together, the person who is lagging, it'll basically just have to be playing keep up the whole time, and, like, it just completely messes up. So that's basically what this is.
The current netcode, once they are synced up, it should never become desynced at any point during the round. If they do, they are technically supposed to pause both games, as shown in this clip, and then resume again on the same frame. So if one game is paused, or if there's a large packet loss, both games should pause until both games can determine that they are both running at the exact same frame again. This works all fine and well until you add latency into the equation. What the netcode does when there's latency is it pushes the start time of the two games apart by the amount of frames it takes to receive data between both systems at the start of the round. For example, if there's 50 milliseconds of latency between both players, one game will start the round at frame 1, while the other game waits to receive a signal from that game telling it to start playing its game on frame 1. This difference in wait time is the latency between the players, but it is read as frames by the netcode. 16.6 milliseconds equals 1 frame in the game. Therefore, with a 50 millisecond ping between players, there will be a difference of 3 frames between both systems.
So yeah. So again, like with latency added on, it actually like affects the rollback that happens. And basically all he's doing here is just explaining like how that works. It's weird because like I'm not super well versed in the way netcode works, but like Capcom is really like everyone's complaining about like rollback or like arguing about rollback or whatever. But what's funny is like this is an example of when rollback doesn't work because you implement it poorly. And basically like what he's gonna go into is like essentially like this is why Street Fighter V's netcode is so trash. I want to get to the part where he explains how the mod fixes this. If I can find it.
This is why you see teleporting games have no latency and look like offline play. But when I add in 150 milliseconds of latency, you'll start to see teleporting until I turn it off. With the current netcode, any fluctuations in latency are handled with rollbacks, giving you teleporting or skipping animations.
Yeah, so like that's why people are like when you see really bad connections in Street Fighter V, people are like teleporting all over the place. It's because the game's trying to basically like compensate for the latency that is currently happening. So if I'm losing a specific amount of frames, like we'll say like 150 milliseconds, the game's gonna try to sync that up with the guy that is not lagging behind, and it'll try to roll back because like the way rollback netcode works is it saves it from the last point that before the latency happens, and then it tries to correct itself by like rolling you back to that point, which is why you see teleporting happening. But normally it's supposed to catch you up and have you two both at the same point. Like when you watch Killer Instinct and you play a game, or actually if you play Killer Instinct and there is a situation where there's latency and lag or whatever, the game will have teleportation, like a little bit of it, but that game's rollback is good enough to where it'll actually sync you two back up and it's fine and the game plays out. And if it's really bad, it'll end up just like DCing or whatever. But like normally it's supposed to be able to disguise bad netcode by trying to get you back to like a saved point where both of you are synced together.
If there is no additional latency beyond the starter round, you don't get rollbacks. But if there is, you do. This is because the only compensation the current netcode does for latency is at the start of the round, and that is its main flaw. Because it cannot make any adjustments during the round, it cannot compensate if there is a large ping spike, or if one game starts running behind or faster than the other over time. So that is what Altamar's mod is trying to correct for. In this clip here, I'm going to show you what the mod is doing to try and correct for large ping spikes or desyncs the current netcode is not able to adjust for. I'm going to apply a ping spike of 150 milliseconds real quick just to simulate something that might happen against a Wi-Fi user. And you'll notice instead of the bottom mono player seeing a teleporting mess, it slightly slows down the system to give it more time to see the animations, thereby not skipping large pieces of the animation. This adds in a slight input delay at the time of the spike, but gives you a much better and playable visual experience as a compromise. Now you'll notice on the top screen that is without the mod, it is unable to adjust for these ping spikes, so it experiences massive teleporting and skipping of animations. This is what those without the mod are experiencing right now if you play against them using this mod when there is a bad connection. So please don't be a dick and play against people who are not running the mod. Altamar is currently working on a fix to allow the mod to adjust for slowdown or speed up of the games, so that it will adjust for those that do not have the mod. This should make it so both game states will stay close enough together to avoid the one-sided rollback issue it currently has. I've left links to download the mod below as well as clips of the mod in use before and after, so you can see how well it works.
So that was pretty much the whole video right there. So basically, if you don't have the mod installed right now, you're still going to experience the teleporting back and forth. And I'll actually make it, like, worse, from what I understand. So this has actually caused a really big problem, because a lot of people are worried with that new mod that's coming through. Not everyone who has the mod currently is going to have the mod, or the patch to the mod. So, a lot of people are worried, or at least I've seen some posts worrying, that when the patch gets introduced, that there's going to be 3 separate netcodes happening, and it's just going to cause an entire clusterfuck. That's kind of an issue right now, because the game's netcode's already bad enough. Experiencing one mod, or experiencing the game with a person with the mod and without, and it's teleporting all over the place, and it's actually it's ridiculous. It's so hard to play the game, and it makes the teleportate, like, everyone's teleporting, you can't really do anything about it. It's like playing, like, again, a bad connection. So hopefully that new patch that's coming out for it actually ends up fixing this. But I mean, even from a player standpoint, like, as far as playing ranked goes, it's a nightmare for some people. Because if you're playing patched PC or modded PC on PS4, it's completely ruined the experience for you. If you're playing PC to PC and only one of you has the patch, it's teleporting. It has caused Street Fighter V Online just to become this lawless mess of just people teleporting all over the place. And what's terrible is the only thing that we've really gotten is that. I've already grasped the situation. It's very unfortunate that that's what you get. That the most Capcom has said is this. And what's even worse is I don't think there's a whole lot they can do about it. Right? Because it's a mod that has been introduced to the game, so they would have to find a way to basically make that mod specifically banned. They would have to find a way that that mod is seen by some sort of anti-cheat engine and then just gone. That would be the only way. But then you'd revert back to Street Fighter V crappy netcode, and people are already pissed about that. So Capcom themselves are in a really tricky situation. Because now you have someone who just came in and basically fixed your game and is now, like, people are shitting on them for this. Like, it's terrible. Look at that meme, after 4 years and all this stuff. Like, what do you do? Like, what can you do right now? Because, like, it's pretty much made the situation worse, so to speak. Because the people who are playing on mod, it's great for them. They're not having as much lag, but the people without the mod are fucked. That shit sucks. And there's not really a whole lot Capcom can do about it. And even if there is a whole lot they can do about it, they're being very radio silent about it. In fact, I don't actually think Ono's tweeted much about it since. I mean, that tweet was like 4 days ago. Yeah, I don't honestly think he's tweeted much about that anyways. Except for, no, that also was 4 days ago. Yeah, so they haven't really tweeted much about it. So it's a very tricky situation for Capcom, because on one hand, they could just find a way to get rid of that mod and make sure it can't run. So that way it at least fixes the current state of Street Fighter. It makes it so you can play Street Fighter with or without the mod, and it still be, like, basically putting it back to normal, right? That's really their only option, or one of their options, is basically find a way to ban that mod and put Street Fighter back to shitty netcode status. Oh god, Harada with the headbutt. But, like, it'll have that go back to shitty netcode status, and people are going to be pissed about that, or you actually fix the netcode based off what that mod is doing. But from what I understand, that would basically make cross-platform play, like, impossible. It wouldn't work. At least from what I understand, from the stuff that I've seen online, I don't know how much of that is actually true. But anyways, I will definitely be putting this video into a description box or something to give that person credit, because this person actually did a really good breakdown, especially for people that want to watch the whole thing. It's only like 5 minutes, but it really does a good job at explaining like how the netcode in Street Fighter V works and where it syncs up and like how it corrects itself with rollback, and then what that mod does to like try to alleviate that. And again, essentially it's just the mod itself is just, instead of having the teleportation, it's going to slow down the game so that way the two matches sync up, and that way it'll reduce the teleportation, but it drastically reduces drastically impacts the other person who is not playing modded. So it's pretty much made cross-platform play like can't do it, and it's pretty much made like if you have PC, like you pretty much can't play ranked, or it's gonna be annoying to play ranked because you're gonna be running into people with the mod and it's just gonna be fucking you up. But anyways, that was my little spiel about that. It's a really unfortunate situation for Capcom. I feel bad because I'm sure they're trying to think of ways that they can fix this problem, but there really isn't a good one. There really isn't that great of one, because you could fix the netcode, but that'll cost, I don't even know how much like labor time that would. I would hope that they would be looking in avenues to fix the netcode, but again, from what I've heard, it would actually affect cross-platform play. And then they could just wipe the slate clean and try to get rid of completely get rid of the mod, or anyone that's playing with the mod, and make it so you can't have that file on your computer to play online. But you just be reverting things back to worse netcode, and everyone's going to be mad at that point. Or you just ride it out. I mean, like, they only have so many decisions they can make, and none of them is going to make anyone happy. It's a really unfortunate thing, and I don't know. I think that's why they're being very quiet about it, because they don't have a very good solution to this, because it's a very tricky situation. Because people do like the mod. In fact, it actually has done very good. It's made like specific connections that like I've seen a lot of people that were playing, and they would find out that they're playing some dude in like South Africa or something, and they're on like the West Coast or something, and they're playing. It's like it's not great, but it's not terrible. Like, it's still playable, and people are just blown away about how much this mod is actually like improving their experience. But again, on the other hand, it is like completely affecting the online experience as a whole in a slightly negative way to people that don't have the mod. However, whatever the percentage of people that don't have it, all of PlayStation 4 trying to do cross-platform play pretty much doesn't exist. Which, to be fair, you shouldn't be doing cross-platform play to begin with. It doesn't really work well. In fact, I don't like doing it. And then it's made PC just kind of like a nightmare, because ranked is hard as shit now, because you're going to be dealing with, if you don't have the mod, you're going to be dealing with a lot of teleportation. I've been running into it. There's no way to prove that anyone has the mod, and if this is like a thing that like the mod is affecting, but a lot of people have been complaining about it. And again, like, Capcom's pretty much backed into a corner where they can't really do a whole lot to make people happy, because no matter what they do, someone's going to get pissed off. I really feel bad for them. They've done a lot of bad things in the past 4 years that definitely deserve people to like, or like deserve some of the memes that have been made about them, but this is just an awful situation to be in. But anyways, let's go play video games. Enough about this silly nonsense.